Hey everyone, it's Todd Gross. We will be starting in just a moment with this very exciting last webinar or workshop or party, call it what you want. We are going to be closing out Talking Faces in just hours from now, and this is your last chance to get in on the package deal, on the chance to get my voice, and on the really low prices with the coupons. All that's expiring, so we wanted to really go over what this software could do for you. Before I get started, I just want to take a roll call. Who do we have here today, and can you hear me clearly? Okay. Yes, you could hear me clearly. Thank you. Jane from Austin, Texas. Azum from India. Mike from Toronto. We have Bill from Teaneck, New Jersey. Hello, Teaneck. We have Amy. She says loud and clear. That's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. LA. And we have Vancouver. All right, great. It's beautiful out there. Okay, great. Thank you so much for letting me know that you could hear me and checking in a little bit. A lot of folks, I can't get to everyone. A lot of folks are answering right now, but we do have a staff of people that are on board right now to answer your questions, and they will attempt to do so. And of course, they'll do so in the screen chat. If you're seeing this as a replay later, my apologies that we can't answer the questions directly, but we'll try to address your concerns as best we can during the course of this webinar. So let's get started. This is exciting stuff. Here we go with our final Talking Faces webinar. This is the last chance to get in on what could be the biggest video software of 2021 moving into 2022. It'll probably be the biggest for 2022 as well. This is an incredible piece of software. And in fact, just one actress alone and what she does is going to blow you away and is probably one of the most important feats that mankind has ever made in video marketing. And I'm really serious about that. I know it sounds crazy. It's a big, bold claim, but let me show you why. All right, so first of all, you are taking a look right now at Talking Faces right in front of you. It is going to be presented, the software, by myself, Todd Gross, and Oliver Goodwin. Oliver is kind of the brainchild behind some of the ideas behind Talking Faces, and he works with the programmers. And I am the brainchild of some of the ideas moving through this in the last decade and a half, and I'll explain what I mean. I'll be giving you an overview of the software, special upgrades as well, really very interesting upgrades that we can give you with this offer, and bonuses that make it even better. Great bonuses. Just as an example, one of the bonuses you'll be getting for purchasing today is going to be my instructions on how to put an animated GIF inside an email, specifically a talking face human avatar. Now, these are really humatars because they're real human beings, as you'll see in just a moment, so we don't really call them avatars, but the reason that we call them humatars is because it's a real human avatar, and we therefore call it a humatar. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is not a humatar in the lower right-hand side of your screen. This is a real actress right around 2008 or so. This was the rage, and believe it or not, it has not been overused and is still very effective, and that is to put live spokespeople on top of web pages, on top of websites. Live actors cost so much that this never became commonplace. All right? You can still find it here and there, but I know it was $1,000 and up because I paid it for my sales page back in 2008. And I'm a broadcaster by trade. I do television weather. I recently, I wouldn't say retired from that because they could always call me back at any time to do, a little bit of a fill-in or that sort of thing like I was doing for CNBC. But yeah, I'm more or less retired from the weather and broadcasting and announcing. And of course, now I'm the number one voiceover guy in internet marketing. But in addition, I've been bringing out video products for years. And I already brought one out on how to get local clients back in 2008. And that's when I paid $1,000 for an actress similar to the one you see on the lower right-hand side of your screen. But interestingly enough, I was also offered money. It wasn't $1,000 because they took half of it. It was like $500 to do that very thing, to do a video, and I'd be walking and talking across somebody's website. So I know how this works because I was offered to be one of those people. Oh, that was an offer I got anyway. Well, it started to occur to me that it'd be great, absolutely wonderful, if we could automate this and not have to hire people for $1,000. And just coincidentally, at the same time that I thought that, Craig Crawford in 2013 approached me, and we came out with a product, Webcaster WP. That is where you put yourself on the web page using green screen, but it was a little buggy and it never really went anywhere. In 2017, Paul Pona, who many of you know, came to me and said, "Why don't we do Video Pal? These are not real humans." I said, "Not real humans?" He says, "No, but they're avatars and they're very good." And he was right. They were very good. And we did a big sale on Video Pal. Folks loved it, and everything was going hunky-dory. The characters looked like what you see here on the lower right-hand side of your screen. And then, boom, right around 2018, autoplay video greetings stopped working on most browsers. And we never came out with Video Pal version 2. So that kind of stopped that product in its tracks. One way around it, in in Talking Faces, is we have a nice big bold play button, but in addition to that, we have something else. We have a trick that happens at the beginning of the video that just makes this thing even better than what was going on back then when these things auto-played, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So I slipped for just a second, and I started to talk about Human Synthesis Studio. That's a product I came out with Oliver early this past year. In 2021, May 24th, we released that huge release. People loved it. It was actually actors and actresses that you could change what they say by typing in virtually any language. That's right. However, it had one big thing missing, and folks came to us and said, "You've got to do something about this. Put out a product where these people will actually talk on other people's web pages." They knew about it from other things they've seen, and also from products like Video Pal. So they were very aware of this concept, and we were being pressed by our beta testers and the buyers to come out with another product. Incredibly lifelike gestures and accurate lip syncing was, of course, the big deal there. Okay, so we did come up with a final solution on how to solve this problem, putting real humans onto web pages that can actually say what you type. And we did it in two ways. We did it so that you can actually take someone else's web page and immediately put your humitar on top of it, or you could do it with a code that you can put into the actual website. So for your own website, or if you're going to sell this to a client after you show them the example, they would put the code on their web page in the header, most likely, of the HTML code, and boom, you'd also see the same exact thing. So that's our basic solution, but we went further than that. We started with not only a play button so that folks will hit play when these humitars pop up, and I'll show you that again in just a moment. In fact, I could just slide this right onto the screen right here. This is an example of someone who already purchased and is already using it. He did this mock-up for one of his clients, his existing clients. This is not using the embed code. This is actually an example, a mock-up he was able to do immediately by taking the website of the other person and just overlaying the humitar right here, and you can see the play button is right there. But in addition to that, in addition to hitting the play button at the very beginning of these, you can actually have an animated start. So let me show you what that looks like. Watch what happens. First, the site gets loaded, all right? And this is how it looks on mobile too, by the way. And notice that he is actually moving here, or he is also, some of his other greetings, as we call them, are pointing towards a call to action button and things of that nature. So we have them with an animated greeting start and the play button. And then once you hit the play button, you hear him.
Why choose MoneySense? Our goal is to provide you, as the investor, with an alternative return to fiat money, whilst deliberately focusing on mitigating risk, still optimizing reward of ideally no less than 12% per month.
Okay, so I'll show you more examples in just a moment, but I just wanted to point out, like this example here, Flowers by Webster. That's one of my favorites. But let me go back to the slideshow here at the Talking Faces slideshow and get back to where we left off just a moment ago, because I want to point out that that is our solution. It's call to action buttons, opt-in form buttons, timers, and moving people at the beginning. All right. So it's not just that you hit play and you see somebody on someone's website, but you actually sense that motion, which is totally arresting to the person who lands on the page. It's phenomenal, in fact. Talk about a showstopper. Something. What is it usually called? I'm trying to think. Thank you. Pattern interrupt. It's a pattern interrupt. Immediately, it arrests your attention, and you see this, and you don't see the web page as being static anymore. It's not just sitting there. Now you're, of course, not going to scroll past it because something amazing is happening on it. You're seeing a video of somebody who's engaging with you. I mean, that's a totally different animal, of course, than just seeing a blank web page that's just sitting there. All right, and of course, we still have the text-to-speech generated from real human voices. So let me explain how that works. The actors and actresses inside Talking Faces, they're real, and then we have a bank of real human voices that can be made into text-to-speech. In fact, one of the upgrades just on this webinar today, and you can't get it anywhere else any other time after the launch, is my voice. My Emmy Award-winning voice is also available to you to use in text-to-speech. There are also synthetic voices which are quite good. They're very, very good. Dozens of them that you get no matter which version of the software you're going to pick up. But the final thing that we also came up with, and this I totally have to give Oliver Goodwin, the kudos for this. I mean, he thought of this. I would never have thought of that. And what it is refacing technology, where we take the original actor and then we can combine other faces, other human faces with them to change their face and make it so unique that you or your client is not sharing the spokesperson with anyone else. The spokesperson becomes your unique spokesperson that you've created because you are, of course, blending two faces together, and that makes it unique. And in fact, if you get the first upgrade, which I'll talk about, you'll see that it's limitless how many you could make, and it's really, really unique in that case. All right, so what I'm going to do now is give you a demo, because I see in that question answer box you're saying, give us the demonstration. We really want to see this, and I'm going to do just that. But I'm also going to give you some tips as I do the demonstration. And the first tip of the day is I want you to jot this down. The best actors in there in terms of their motions, their gestures, and their the way they move their head and that sort of thing, their body, their hand motions, that's Jenny and Vanessa. Vanessa is probably the best on the planet, as a matter of fact, in terms of being a spokesperson, period. I mean, she's just incredible with her body language. It's phenomenal, and you'll see that in just a moment. And the best voice right now is Shane W. There's a lot of great voices, but Shane W., who has a Surrey accent from the UK. You guys taught me that on these webinars, that's a Surrey accent. He's a real human voice, and it's the best voiceover text-to-speech ever on the planet, period, hands down, no discussion. It should be used everywhere, and it can't be because it's ours, all right? It's unbelievable. That is an upgrade number one voice, but there's so many good voices that you can use as well. But that's just one of my first tips. All right, so let me give you a demo now of Talking Faces. All right, so when you first log in, you'll click on Talking Faces. There'll be a banner that comes up. And even if there's not, this is a very important point, always choose Talking Faces from the upper menu. Now, I'm in my admin account, so there may be things that you're seeing that you wouldn't see in your account. But one thing you will always see is the little Talking Faces menu, and then you just click on that, and you don't have to use this. Select a talking face. You could skip that. That is just going to be recreated here. It's saying leave page, but it's putting us back in the same page, as you'll see in a moment. There we go. And what I'm trying to say is this column on the left here, is the same thing as what you'd see in selecting a talking face. All right, it's the same exact thing. You just scroll down and you could select them. They're just a little smaller here than you would have seen on that other selection, which is select a talking face. But you can still select them, they're just a little bit smaller. All right, so I am going to select one that is really good. As a matter of fact, I mentioned that this woman here, Vanessa, you get, I believe, Vanessa number 1. Yeah, Vanessa number 1, even if you just get the basic product of Talking Faces, the commercial version. And she's unbelievable in terms of her motions, her body language. She's the best on the planet. I've never seen anything like this. It's uncanny. I can't believe we got her. So she not only has these confident body motions at the very beginning, and that's what we call select emotions or greetings. And I'll show you that right here. If you click on, for instance, no preview, she's just static. If you click on confident, then she does a little swirl, a confident swirl, and that's what you'd see at the beginning when you first land on a page, like you're seeing right there on your screen. If you do this one, which says act now, then it looks kind of like she's reacting to you at a party. If you click on this one, click here, this is just phenomenal because she's could point right now to a button that you put on there, a call to action button. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do an example of that, of her actually pointing to a call to action button. And the last one is waving her hand, which is very friendly. She's saying, who, me? How hi? So that's basically, again, another great greeting at the beginning that you'd see her do. But beyond that, when she actually starts speaking, that's incredible too, because she still maintains some of that great body language and the whole thing flows, I guess would be the best way to put it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some script here. You could also, if you have the upgrade number 2, you could upload your own voice or someone else's voice, your client's voice, any voice, and she'll lip sync perfectly to the uploaded voice. But for the sake of argument, let's just put in any script. I've been doing webinars all week, and I keep having her invite people to a party. So let's do that. Hi, my name... Fat fingers. My name is Vanessa, and I'd like to invite you to a party on Saturday where we will run around, tell each other the weather forecast, and throw balls for dogs to chase. Okay, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it just popped into my mind. So we're going to actually have her say that. But we have to choose a voice for her, which we'll do in just a moment. Before that, we want to make sure that we do choose some other things here, like a title for this video. And this is going to be a Vanessa test for the final webinar. That's today, the final webinar. And we could put a button text underneath her. We could either do a call to action, which is a button, or an email form. You're all familiar with email forms. If I click this right here, it gives you a place to import your HTML code for the form code from your autoresponder, and that will give you a little, of course, form that allows a person to opt into your list. All right, so she could be pointing towards that. But let's stick with a button for now. The other option is you could put a countdown timer. See this on the top? Call to action is either button or opt-in form. Countdown is a countdown timer. You would click this right here. And there are other controls. Remember I said I'll be giving you some tips. Take out a piece of paper and pencil for this. One of my tips is the 2 most important things to click are play video if possible. In almost all circumstances, the greeting will play, but the video itself won't play until someone hits play, but just click that for the heck of it. And this one right here, show preview after video. Very, very important. That means she'll return to that animated greeting after the video is actually played. All right? And then below that, we have some playback controls, such as load the video immediately, load it after a certain number of seconds, or load it when somebody is exiting the web page, which can also be handy. You could say, hey, wait, not so fast. I have a special deal for you for 50% off. And then you can position them in the bottom right, bottom left, top right, top left, And you could also choose full body or a larger one in a circle. But if you do the circle, you do not get to pick a greeting, number one. And number two, you don't see the full body language. So I usually use full body. All right, so we're down to the very last step other than agreeing to terms, and that's matching a voice with Vanessa. Now, remember before I told you some of the better people were Vanessa and Jenny in terms of the two that I like the best to use. However, there are a whole bunch of really good ones in there. And in terms of the voices, I mentioned the best voice was a male voice, Shane. But because we're picking English right now, we're not doing a foreign language. So you have a choice of all these languages. When we're going to be doing English, because we have that, all the different dialects of English are going to show up when you choose a voice to put into Vanessa. So, yeah, Vanessa's a real person, but we're going to use a different person's voice for her. Now, the voices are interesting because for the women, for instance, there are quite a large number of women who are real humans that sound unique, but to me, they don't sound broadcastery. So I tend to shy away from them, and I tend to go towards the more synthetic voices, which aren't real human voices, because they sound so good, they're so smooth, and the text-to-speech has come so far. But our beta testers overwhelmingly preferred the real human voices, even though they were less smooth and perfected, as a broadcaster. And I thought that was interesting. So you have plenty to choose from. Write this down. Two of my favorite voices, and they are synthetic voices, as you scroll down, are Jenny and Aria, and it's easy to remember because they're both next to each other. So let's pick Aria in this case. And then we can actually listen to the script. We can't see her mouth it yet because we didn't render it, but we could listen to the script play. So let's click play script, and we should be able to hear it.
Hi, my name is Vanessa, and I'd like to invite you to a party on Saturday, where we will run around, tell each other the weather forecast, and throw balls for dogs to chase.
Pretty darn good, right? Right? First time. We didn't even have to play with it. Write this down, though. Here's another tip. If the inflections are wrong, if the word is incorrect that she says, like I think I actually asked her to talk about wind one day and she said wind, then take out the word, put a word that means the same thing in, and most likely she'll say it correctly. Or if her inflection is bad in one point or another, then just take that word out or respell that word. So playing with the script, adding pauses. You can actually increase the pause length right here at the bottom. You can increase the speed of how she's talking as well. But playing with the periods, the punctuation, the commas, and that sort of thing really can make a difference on some of the actors and actresses. Now, this particular voice comes out very well. The Aria voice, it hardly ever needs to be corrected. And I told you about Shane also, the male voice that will demo for you. Unbelievable. It needs hardly anything, which is to me astounding. I mean, because it's text to speech. All right, so at this point, all we have to do is just render this. So we just press create, and what it's going to do is take us out from here and throw us into all our videos where they all are. And this is the latest one that we're working on. It says 32 minutes, but usually it takes much shorter than what is listed, number one. Secondly, I happen to know there's a large load right now from all the people that are playing with it. Normally it takes 3 to 5 minutes to render, and it takes about an hour to reface. What is refacing? I'm glad you asked. We'll be showing you how to reface in just a moment, but I wanted to show you how some of the faces can change. So we're on the page now. If you clicked on the menu, we're on the page which would be My Talking Faces. That's where it threw us in just now. And I've already done some this week, a whole bunch for the webinars and, of course, more. And we've done some refacing, some face swapping. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through our bank of videos that are already in here, our little humitars that are going to be on web pages that are already in here. and I'm going to actually show you certain things. Number one, I'm going to show you the most important thing, which is overlaying these on web pages. But number two, I'm going to show you what a face swap is like. So I'll be doing that in just a moment. But let's go back to our Vanessa, all right? And I'm going to look for perhaps one that we did earlier. This one says use a video title. I probably did a Vanessa when I wrote that title. So what we do is we click on this down here in the lower right-hand side of her little icon or her little picture. You see it, this that says instant URL settings. Now, this is where the magic happens. This is important. There's two things going on in this box, and it's so simple. First of all, if you have one of the upgrades, you can unclick this box that says include powered by TalkingFaces.net logo. You can actually take that off if you'd like. Second thing is, if you don't put anything in here, in the top where it says your site URL, then you'll be getting your Humitar onto a blank white background. Now, you're saying, what good is that? It's really good if you want to put them in emails. And one of the bonuses that only you get today is how to take these and put them inside emails. I actually did that training, and you can do it. It takes a few steps. It's really easy once you get the hang of it. It takes me literally 3 minutes or 4 minutes to do it because I have the hang of it, but at first it might take you 10 or 15 minutes to get used to it. But then it will be very quick after that. So anyway, that's why I would put it on a white background. But normally you would put a site in here. So what I'm going to do is just pick a local website. The one that I've been using this week just in general is Flowers by Webster. It's a florist shop in Western Massachusetts because I just Googled flower shops in that area, and that's the first thing that popped up. I noticed it was a boring site, so I picked it, and I've been putting it in my examples. And as you saw, I took out this right here, the powered by TalkingFaces.net logo. I was able to take that out. That's one of the upgrades. And then you have two choices. You can either grab the instant URL right away. The instant URL, of course, is right here in the middle. And this is going to take our Vanessa and put her over the Flowers by Webster site. Or you could actually do it manually and put it into the embed code. You could take the embed code and put it into your website or your client's website using a little snippet of script here that would go in, let's say, the header, in the header part of your HTML code. Or you could try the body too. It should work on the body, but usually folks put it in the header. All right, so I'm going to do the instant URL right now since we don't actually have access to their site other than Googling it. And I have to make sure to click Save first. I'll do Edit Copy because this link stays the same no matter what you do, the instant URL. But let's click Save so Flowers by Webster gets saved. Okay, and then what we're going to do is open up another browser right here. This is how she would look if she was in front of a blank white page. If there was nothing there, if there was absolutely no URL put in as a background. But we have one now, so we're going to paste that code that we got. I'm pasting it right now into my browser right here. You can see it right there. And now I'm going to press return, and then that Flowers by Webster website is going to pop up, and on the lower right, guess who's going to greet us? It's going to be Vanessa right there. Now, I'm not sure if you can see that. I have to move this around a little bit. I think my window has been changing size. So let me just move this up a little. And I think now you can see it pretty clearly. There it is. There's Vanessa. She's greeting us, but she's not saying anything yet because we didn't press play yet. All right, but look how the site already looks better. If you were to put your hand over Vanessa so you weren't seeing anything, then you're seeing a bunch of flowers and nothing else. But you take your hand away, and then there's Vanessa waving at you. Click here for 25% off. Who could resist that? So I will click
The weather forecast for tomorrow is rain and breezy, so please come to my party on Saturday and drink lots of coffee and run around and throw balls for dogs.
Do you see that? That body motion she has and how it goes along with her greeting? Just phenomenal. Just absolutely phenomenal. That you can take this and offer this to a client, charge them $300 to $500 a month or more for something like that. Now, speaking of Flowers by Webster, I think we looked at this before, so let me move this all the way to the right. But we did actually in here, I have another one. This is a Jenny one. It says click for 50% off. And I'll show you Jenny, and then later I'm going to show you Jenny with a whole different face. So let me load this one up, and you'll see how Jenny comes on with a greeting too. So right now I just pressed refresh. That site loads up. Jenny loads up on the bottom right-hand side. It usually is faster, but I happen to have a slow internet connection. And there she is with her spin, looking confident, and her offer to click for 50% off. And let's see what she has to say when I press play.
Hi, and welcome to Flowers by Webster. Make sure to click the button below to get our special Black Friday deal for 50% off. May your holiday be filled with flowers. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Jenny. Now at the end, I did this a while back before I pressed that button that allows her to continue to have motion at the end. You see how she just kind of freezes there? So that's why I prefer to have that motion return at the end. So that's still a dynamic thing that's going on. It's not just that plain web page. However, there is something else you can do, and that it makes Talking Faces so unique. And that is you can actually swap faces. So if I go back into the software, I want to show you what that looks like by finding Jenny again. Here she is. Okay, so I have an actual face swap I did, and I'll show you how to do a face swap in a minute. But there are two things to notice when you do face swaps. So I'm going to go into Instant URL Settings on the bottom right. Flowers by Webster is indeed the site URL that we're going to overlay her onto. And we're going to pick up this instant URL link. I'm going to copy, edit, copy, and then I'm going to paste it. All right, we'll replace the Vanessa one here. I'll do edit, paste. And I'm going to press return. And now the site loads up. It's the same site, but on the lower right, is it Jenny or is it going to be somebody else? Oh my goodness, it kind of looks like Jenny, but it's a new face. What we did is we blended in a different human face. 70% or so of that face worked into Jenny's face. And we have a whole new spokesperson. Now, it still maintains those great body movements that Jenny has, just like Vanessa's body movements would be maintained if you did it with her. So everything is still looking good there. The hair happens to be the same. The lip syncing is the same. Everything's the same except for the face. So you now have a unique person. There is a caveat, though. I have to be honest. There is something we weren't able to accomplish. If you do change the face, which is great because it becomes a unique spokesperson, you can't run the greeting at the beginning. So it's not dynamic at the beginning until somebody clicks the play button.
Hi, and welcome to Flowers by Webster. Make sure to click the button below to get our special Black Friday deal for 50% off. May your holiday be filled with flowers.
Now, if you were to press the 50% off button, obviously you will be brought to whatever URL you want to bring them to for their special deal to buy. So that's great. So the whole thing is really, really wild. I mean, that you can actually pull this off here in 2021. We're not waiting for 2050 or something. Go to a local business, say, hey, I can improve your website immediately. Here's how it will look. And then sell them the embed code and charge them $300 to $500 a month. And then pull it, just pull the video. Erase it if they stop paying. The whole thing is incredibly clever. It's incredibly profitable. It's probably your best way to get your foot in the door to local businesses, but you don't have to use it for just local businesses. You could also use it, for example, to, as I did, to sell software. You could have the person's software, or it doesn't have to be software, it could be any offer. And you can be the affiliate of that offer, and you can put yourself in front of the page, and boom, you will be putting yourself in between the seller, the original seller, and the person who's coming to the page. You now can say whatever you want. It's called site jacking, where you as the affiliate now are speaking on behalf of the seller. Now, we suggest if you do site jacking, if you do it for the reason of, let's say, bringing up your own credibility or authority, or you do it because you're going to be doing an affiliate offer and you want to actually sell a product. If you do that, it's best to get the permission of the actual site owner that you're putting yourself in front of. You don't necessarily have to do that. For instance, if there's an offer going on JVZoo, as there was last week, in fact, let me show you. I actually did this. I actually did what I'm saying. I did it with their permission. They knew about it, but even if they didn't give me their permission, they wouldn't have minded at all. And let me open up a new browser window. About 2 weeks ago, a little less, the product Speechalo was out, and I promised that I would do a promotion for that particular product because it's also a text-to-speech product that's pretty darn good. Just text-to-speech. It doesn't have people on it or anything. But what we did is we actually put onto the Speechalo site, like this, we overlaid one of the talking faces. And that's going to come up here on the lower right, as you see, with my slow internet connection. It took a second there. And we have this very fine-looking gentleman in his suit who is doing the greeting. And then when you press play, he starts talking about the offer.
Welcome to Speechalo. These realistic synthetic voices are marvelous to use in any text-to-speech program. My voice is just one example of the over 30 voices available. You can even add inflections to my speech with Speechalo. I would like to introduce myself. I am a humatar from TalkingFaces. I am a real human. I can be used on your own pages or any web page, just like I am now.
So you see what I did about a week ago. We already started talking about talking faces by putting a talking face on another product that we were promoting. I mean, how incredible is that? All right, 2 more things I'm going to show you. I just want to check the question answer box, see if you have any questions. Yeah, I see you do, but you're getting answered really well by our, I would say staff, but they're really my partners. Yes, unlimited credits with this. So you don't even, it's not even a credit system. You could just make as many videos as you want. The refacing, though, we suggest you make 5 per day or less, or you'll tie up the system. But otherwise, you can make as many of these as you want. Yeah, don't go crazy and make a zillion of them at once. You'll tie up the system even without doing the refacing. But it is an unlimited number, though, yes. Okay, so I have 2 more things to show you, and then I'll tell you how to get in on this final grab of Talking Faces before the prices go up, the coupon goes away, and the various offers go away. The thing I want to show you next is how to reface, and I also want to show you that incredible voice that I mentioned earlier of Shane W. Let's go back to the very first page. That is the latest ones that we have been making. And remember I said it wouldn't take too long for the Vanessa test that we did to render? It is actually ready now. So I'm going to preview it right on this page and see if she said what we wanted her to say. And then we'll go reface her.
Hi, my name is Vanessa, and I'd like to invite you to a party on Saturday, where we will run around, tell each other the weather forecast, and throw balls for dogs to chase.
Thank you, Vanessa. All right. Good job. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to go into Talking Faces again, and we're going to click on Reface. All right? And reface means reface the video you've already made. You're not refacing a person and then repeating the person. You're refacing the video, and then you could always copy over the video again and then change it. So we're refacing the actual video already made. So what you just saw, we're going to reface. I'm going to agree to terms, all right? And then I'm going to just click here, show more faces. I'm going to just run through faces until there's one that I like. Show more. All right, so I'm actually going to notice that the face itself is going to change. So we're going to pick the face, not anything to do with the hair or anything like that. It's solely the faces looking straight at us that are going to be merged with the original. 70% merge, meaning the face that you choose, if it's yours as an example, if you have the second upgrade, it's going to look 70% like you. In some cases, it comes out looking real like you. Write this down. To get it to look more like you, pick a face that already resembles you a bit in the first place. In terms of a humitar, pick a humitar that already looks like you somewhat to begin with, and then your face will be at least 70% in there. It usually looks like a relative of yours, or sometimes it looks just like you, but very often like a brother or a sister or family member. So in this case, I'm just running down. I'm not even picking the age groups and the the religion and that sort of thing. I'm just going through and looking for faces. So this particular face right here in the upper left, I'm going to merge that face in with Vanessa. Now it's already fairly similar, so I'm saying to myself, is it worth doing that? And I've merged this face before, and it made her look really, really nice. She's already a great looking woman, but she looked really nice. So I'm going to do that, and all I have to do is just click on render. Now I don't want to tie up the system, so I'm not going to do that right now, but you did see what the refacing looked like on the other one. But that's how to reface. The last thing I want to show you before I tell you how much this is now costing, how much it's going to cost when this ends in just a few hours, and how you could get the package deal now, and you can't get that later, and how you could get my voice now, and you can't get that later. Before I go over all that, just the one thing I promised you is I want you to hear the Shane voice. So I'm going to go to my Talking Faces again. No, excuse me. You see what I did? I went to the bank of videos. I want to go to create a talking face. Sorry. And I'm going to use the Shane voice. So I'm going to use this guy, Adrian. I'm going to use the Adrian in a suit. Very nice guy. I could even do a circle like that. And I'm going to put something in for Shane. Hi, I'm Shane. And I'm from Surrey in the UK. I think he'll say UK correctly. Todd thought I was from Liverpool because he used to listen to the Beatles all the time and knew they were from Liverpool. The weather here in England is always damp and cool. You notice I keep putting weather references in. I can't help myself. I used to be that meteorologist on TV. What can I tell you? All right, so let's see how that came out. We're going to choose the voice. Again, it's an English voice, but it is not a U.S. English voice. So we go down to here, Shane W., real human voice. And remember, this is one of the upgrade voices on OTO number 1 or upgrade number 1. And let's see how he came out without me having to tweak the script, if he's going to read it okay.
Hi, I'm Shane and I'm from Surrey in the UK. Todd thought I was from Liverpool because he used to listen to the Beatles all the time and knew they were from Liverpool. The weather here in England is always damp and cool.
Okay, this is a great example of how we need to fix something. The period after you made a pause. So we'll take out the period. We'll just put UK. And let's see if he says it correctly now. I'll put my full name in there too.
Hi, I'm Shane and I'm from Surrey in the UK. Todd Gross thought I was from Liverpool because he used to listen to the Beatles all the time and knew they were from Liverpool. The weather here in England is always damp and cool.
That's absolutely phenomenal how good that voice is. Now, there is one thing that we can actually improve on this, and usually I don't improve anything on Shane, so I'm glad we found something. When I wrote I'm, it was okay, but it wasn't perfect, so I'm going to change it to I am and play it one last time.
Hi, I'm Shane and I'm from Surrey in the UK. Todd Gross thought I was from Liverpool because he used to listen to the Beatles all the time and knew they were from Liverpool. The weather here in England is always damp and cool.
Just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. In order to do this now, we just need to put a title in here. And then down here, of course, we could choose our call to action button or email form, or we could do a countdown timer. And then, of course, all you have to do at that point is just press create, and we're done. How about that? What do you think of this, everyone? Amazing. My head is spinning you writing. I can't even conceive of the number of ways I could use this. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's just, to me, it's just such an advance, something that I've been working for so many years, since I've always been on the cutting edge of video products. All right, who wants to see how much this costs, what you get, what our upgrades are, how to get in on the so-called bundle or package deal, and what that includes, what it doesn't include? Who wants to see that now? You ready? Now, I repeat, are you ready? Yeah, you guys are saying, yes, already. Come on. All right, here we go. This is the deal. There's a personal license for $47, but I highly recommend you get the $60 commercial license because just today, for the next several hours, there's an $11 off coupon, TF sale. T as in Tom, F as in Frank, sale, and that makes it $49. So it's only $2 more for the commercial version. And the commercial version allows you to sell this to clients, to local businesses, which is what many of you will be using this for. So let's go over the commercial version and not dwell on the personal at this time, since we have the coupon going. And that is up to 10 humitars for refacing and face swapping. And excuse me, let me rephrase that. This should be the opposite. It is 10 talking face humitars and 10 faces that you can reface and face swap with them. That should actually be in the reverse order. We should have put the actors first. So 10 talking face humitars, as you see on line 2 right here. And then you could take 10 of the faces that we have in there to reface with them to make 100 faces, 90 of which will be completely unique because you're making them by putting the face into their face. All right? I just want to be very clear about this. You get 10 humitars, including Vanessa and Jenny, the two best ones. You don't get Shane W.'s voice, but you get a lot of the other good voices, like you heard, of course, Aria before. You do get that voice with the commercial version, the basic offer for $49 with the coupon. You also get 20 human voices and dozens and dozens of excellent synthetic voices, the best text-to-speech that's out there. You also get 30 greetings. Those are those animated starts, so to speak. You get 30 of those. And no credits are required, meaning unlimited videos. Watch my cursor here as I go down this. You get 1,000 characters per video. That's about 1.5 minutes. And you get a commercial license to sell this to your clients. Is that a great deal? I'm not going to give you the link yet. I know you're saying, where's the link? We want to buy this. No, not yet. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to go over in detail the upgrades first, so you could see what you're going to want to get and what you aren't going to want to get. In other words, what suits your fancy, or if you want to put them together into our package deal. All right? So I just want to make sure everybody understands this. Any questions on this, please ask. Okay, so next, the first upgrade is our unlimited. Everything becomes unlimited. You get 30 more talking face humitars. That now brings you to 40. You get different outfits covering dozens of niches, including doctor. You get hairdresser, schmuck, or whatever it's called. You get all kinds of things so that you get these different niches you can sell to. You get 60 of the pro-human voices and dozens again of those synthetic voices, text-to-speech. And again, the language is amazing. These are in all different languages. Unlimited refacing capabilities, meaning a bank of unlimited faces that you could now mix with your 60 pro-human, or should I say 30, talking faces. You have 40 altogether, 30 and then 10, so 40. So you have the 40 human beings. You can now take unlimited number of faces and mix it up with them so that you have something completely unique. No one else will have it. Completely unique. You could tell the business that you're working with, nobody else has this spokesperson. I made it. And future talking faces, humitars, as they come out, will also be added for free to your account. Next, the second upgrade is huge. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. And that is the enterprise version, which allows you to upload your voice or your client's voice into the humitar to speak. Now, would you like to see how that works? I'm going to just briefly show you on the sales page an example of that. Let's see if I could find it. Oh, by the way, that's a reface of the guy that's in there right there. Okay, right here. That's a reface of me that you see right there. I am going to play this, and I want you to watch how good the lip syncing is. I recorded this with my voice, and then it was put into my humitar, which only I have. You don't get my humitar, but you can get my text-to-speech voice in the next upgrade, but I'm getting ahead of myself. But watch the lip syncing here. Hey everyone, would you like to see an example of what I would look like with 2 or 3 different faces merged into mine? If the answer is yes, please keep watching this video. Hey, it's me, Todd, again, but this time with a different face. How do I look? It's me again. You see how this technology is outstanding. You'll be able to change humitar facial features by selecting any face you want from the dashboard. You'll be able to create unlimited variations, which makes your spokesperson unique. So go grab your copy right now. Yeah, grab your copy right now. But hold on, because I'm showing you OTO number 2, where you can upload your voice in any language. And then, of course, select that language, and boom, your talking face will speak, will lip sync to your voice, just like you saw me do. And you could upload any face for refacing, meaning you could upload your own face and make it look like you or a family member. It may not look exactly like you. First of all, the hair's not going to be yours, right? The outfit's not going to be yours. The body is going to be the same as the original. If you're, let's say, heavy, like somebody did this the other day on the webinar. They told me to go to their LinkedIn. I grabbed his picture. I put it in there. It looked like him all right, but he was about 100 pounds thinner. It was amazing. Everything was the same of his facial features did carry over what looked like more than 70% to me. It really looked a lot like him, even though we put his face, he was an older guy, we put him onto the young man, and boom, it worked. It really worked amazingly. But his hair was the same, dress was the same as the original actor, body motions were the same as the original actor. Everything else was the same, except the facial features itself had changed. So you could use your own face for refacing. Talking faces in 1080p as well. You get the high def if you get this option, the enterprise. And you get VIP rendering status, meaning you'll move to the head of the line when it's bunched up. And you can hide the branding. Remember I showed you before, I said I'm taking off the branding. That's one of the upgrades. It's upgrade number 2. 2,000 characters per render means your little videos there are going to be up to 3 minutes long, roughly. And all the software upgrades moving forward. The third upgrade is only available right now for you for the next few hours, and that is my voice, my Emmy Award-winning voice. I've been a broadcaster since 1970. Oh, I don't even want to tell you. 76 or 7. I mean, really a long time ago. If you include my college my college radio goes even further back than that. I've been doing this for a freaking half a century almost. Oh my goodness. And my voice, which has been the announcer on children's talk shows, on women's shows, as a meteorologist on TV, as a reporter, and as the number one voiceover guy in internet marketing, you get my text-to-speech voice, and that is upgrade number 3. I'm not showing you upgrade number 3 right now. I should be. I'm showing you the bonus you get for number 2. I keep mixing up my slides on that, but this is the upgrade I'm talking about, and that is you could combine my Emmy Award-winning voice with your Talking Face Humitars. You get unlimited voiceovers from me by text-to-speech. Now, there is a caveat there. First of all, it's only available for the next few hours, all right? The second thing is there is an approval process that takes up to 24 hours. It never takes longer than 24 hours in our, experience so far since this went live, and it shouldn't take that long. It should take 6 hours or less, but there is an approval process because we want to make sure you're not saying my full name, and we want to make sure that you're not saying anything that is going to cast aspersions on my character, like porn or anything like that, or anything highly charged politically. I don't want that. I don't want to be part of that because people, quite frankly, recognize my voice. Nowhere else can you get my text to voice, obviously. Nowhere else. And not only that, but this is only available for the next few hours for obvious reasons. I don't want too many people to have this. You can have it, but other people afterwards will not. There's also an agency license, which I'll talk about in just a moment, but upgrade number 1, upgrade number 2, and upgrade number 3, and the basic offer are all part of a bundle, a package that we're going to give you as an option in just a moment. Before I do that, I breezed over this, and I shouldn't have. That is the bonus for getting upgrade number 2, the OTO2. Remember, that's the one where you could put your own voice in? Well, I actually have some training on how to make your voice better. Like, for instance, I could teach you to be less nasal. I could teach you to lower your voice tone so that you will be able to have your voice carry, and you could control people when you're in Walmart just by lowering your tone, making your voice boom like I did just now. And I actually train you to do that kind of stuff and get rid of your accent if you have a regional accent inside this training for your voice so that your voiceovers will be better. So once again, let me just review that, and then I'll review the bundle. The prices, if you are going to go through the funnel individually and you want to do it kind of a la carte, $49 with the coupon for the commercial version, which gives you the basic package. For upgrade number 1, that's the unlimited, that's $77. Upgrade number 2, that's $67 for the enterprise version where you could upload your face and your voice. And upgrade number 3 is my voice, all right? Text-to-speech voice that you can use. And all that we've put together into a bundle, which is right here, only $257, saving you over $50. We wrote here, use coupon TF Bundle, all right? TF Bundle, and you're getting at least $40 off. I think it's more because the prices have been creeping up on everything else. So you're getting quite a substantial savings. You could get that all at once, and this is where to go. It's the page that you're on right now, but it's talkingfaces.net/closing. talkingfaces.net/closing. It's just one more thing to tell you about in terms of the offers. And if you want to resell this, or you want to have many different accounts where people can use it to make these humitars, then we do have something else, and that is an agency offer. $97 for the Lite, that's 25 sub-user accounts, which you can resell. You have a reseller's license with that. And this is also, only for the next few minutes, so you want to make sure to get in here. The other thing is you can pick for $197 unlimited sub-user accounts, which you can sell. Plus, we give you a traffic generation course and a very good done-for-you agency website to sell these from, all right? So that is also on the table. Folks love this. It's a small group of people that love agency, but when they do, they know what to do with it. They know how to sell it, and that is, what you'll be able to do. You do have to wait just a little bit to sell it. You have to wait until the 17th of December, and you can't charge any less than $197 to resell any individual account of Talking Faces. Really great deal, obviously. What do you think about that, everyone? Tell me your feedback on this. Yeah, I know, mind-blowing. Okay. Yes, it is. It's really good. It's a really good deal. What we've been waiting for is here, the link to purchase Talking Faces. It's talkingfaces.net/closing. It is on this very page. You could click the link to go through the funnel if you want the commercial instead of the bundle itself. All right? So, again, if you want to go through, you could just click that link, talkingfaces.net/closing, and you could go through the funnel, or you could pick your bundle offer. There are bonuses if you do get this. We have that link shortener I told you about. There's a high-paying clients acquisition cheat sheet. There is over 100 free online marketing tools that you get. All this is on the sales page itself, by the way, that you'll be running into. You also get personal branding secrets. You get 400 power words. You have influencer scripts, how to reach out to influencers so they can't say no. You get a logo creator app, which we developed in-house. It's a really cool app. And, I skipped over 2. You get the Facebook ads video training course as well. All 8 bonuses valued over $1,200. You get them for free. But just because you're on the webinar, you get the other one I told you that I'm going to give you that I did for you. And that is how to use Talking Faces as an animated GIF inside an email. Remember, I suggested you use the white background, or in other words, put no URL in that slot, in the instant URL slot. You put nothing in there, and you will immediately have it against a white background. You want to see that again? Yeah? Okay. So what you do is you go Talking Faces, right? And you go to My Talking Faces. And then remember, when you go to My Talking Faces, you have your bank of videos that's there. And on the lower right-hand side of each video is the instant URL settings. And then this, where it says yoursite.com, just leave it as yoursite.com, and you'll have a great white background. And the best one to put in an email happens to be Vanessa. She just happens to look the best. But you could try them on all of them. A lot of people look, a lot of the humans look good in there. But Vanessa just happens to be very crisp, and her body motions are so good. She's really, really hot to use in emails. Really good stuff. All right, back to what we were talking about. Sorry about the diversion. That's one bonus. The other bonus that we're giving you are 2 extra humitars, 2 extra real humans when you purchase during this webinar. The third thing is the 35-in-1 video SEO tools. Don't delay. The Talking Faces webinar bonuses and that bundle deal, that package deal, will disappear in just a matter of hours now. My voice will no longer be available in just a matter of hours. And all the prices will increase. The price on just the main package alone is going up to $97, and you could get it for $49. That's about 50% off for just the next few hours. Think about it for just a second. With this software, you could sell Talking Faces to your existing clients and charge recurring monthly payments. That means you can make back today's investment with just one ongoing client in just the first month, right? $300 to $500 is what I recommend. Other folks say more, but $300 to $500 a month for them to have these on their website that you're charging them, and yet you're paying for the, even if it's the bundle, the package deal, $257 or something like that. I mean, it's just a phenomenal deal. You will make that back in 1 month if you sell just one client, one recurring client. That's just the first month. Also, if you'd like to discuss this software or other video products that have come out with over the years, I have started a Facebook group so you could do just that. I'll be popping in there. You could speak with each other. It's not a support site per se, but you certainly could share your work and discuss things about the software inside. It's facebook.com/groups/Todd's Circle. Got that? Facebook group is Facebook facebook.com/group/Todd Circle. All right, I want to show you one testimonial. We have dozens, but one in particular because I have a funny story with it. It's from Tim. Tim is one of our best beta testers, but he's too smart for his own good. He wrote, I've used similar technology that provided animated actors, but being able to use real humans with artificial intelligent text-to-speech and synchronized lip movement is profoundly better in many ways than cartoon characters. So you see, we've come a long way in a few years here, in the last 4 or 5 years. However, Tim always looks for the hard way to do things, and he couldn't conceive that we had this ability to immediately put a character on a site just with one URL. He kept thinking you had to use the embed code. So he was telling the rest of the beta testers that, and we said, no, Tim, you're wrong. It's too simple. You just go in and grab that one link, and you're done. You just put in what page you want it to be over and, go to Google. And he didn't understand what we're saying. It actually took us literally 48 hours to drive across into his brain that that's what we were doing, because he was just expecting it to be so much more complicated, because we've come, of course, so far in being able to do this. And I guess he wasn't familiar with some of the other site jackers from the past that were out there where you could try to put a video on someone's site, that sort of thing. But anyway, he was so impressed, he won't stop talking about us now. And he's so enamored with my text-to-speech voiceover, as a matter of fact. He wrote a long, long, long letter to me about it. And I really appreciate all his hard work. But it's just funny because he's so smart and does things so intelligently. And then he missed the actual simplicity of Talking Faces. All right, so we're getting towards the end of the webinar, this great fun party where we are talking about the most fun to play with video software on the planet. I mean, this thing is just so much fun to play with. To make, one of my partners, two actually, are what we call JV partners when they help us promote products. Two of them said something that I found kind of slightly insulting towards women, somewhat insulting towards women, very insulting. He said, now I could make my wife say what I want her to say by doing the text-to-speech and changing her face. And I'm thinking, is anyone going to say anything to this guy that's not like a nice thing to say? But his point was, both of the people that said that, their point was, you can now take one of the talking faces, you could change them to resemble you or whoever you want, and then you can write in text-to-speech and have that person speak. So I did that. As a matter of fact, I called up my parents. I played the text-to-speech, the one that was my voice, and they thought it was really me. I fooled them. I was just, typing and answering them by typing. It was hysterical. So, yeah, I just want to tell you that story briefly. We are here to answer your questions. If you're watching this on the replay, we're trying to answer as much as we can, and I'm going to read some of the questions that folks previously have asked, and hopefully that will help you if you are watching this on the replay. Use TF Sale for the $11 off Talking Faces commercial version. Use TF Bundle for $40 off the package, which includes Upgrade 1, Upgrade 2, Upgrade 3, and the basic package at talkingfaces.net/closing. All right, I'm going to read some of the questions from the previous webinars this week in case you are watching the actual replay version of this. And I have to say, just some great questions from you guys. Let me get my list out. Hold on one second, if you could bear with me. All right, question 1 was, how do we actually make the humitars speak in another language? And the answer is, you actually have to type in that particular language, and you have to choose the language that you want them to speak in. It's as simple as that. All right, next question is also language related, and that is, can you translate from English automatically to another language and then have them speak that language? The answer is kind of. We don't do it directly in the software, but you can go to the Google Translate, translate the English, and then plug in what you've translated in, and it works perfectly. And Google Translate has gotten much better over the years, and will help you out. Or if you have another app that you use to translate from English, you could then take the translated. The next question, uploading. Yes, you could upload any voice, yes, if you have upgrade number 2. All right, this question's funny. Can I have the Humitars sing? And the answer is absolutely yes, and they sing beautifully. They actually do the lip syncing better than the actual real actors, actresses, singers do when they go on, let's say, Saturday Night Live. I mean, it's just uncanny how good the lip syncing is. But there is a caveat. You can't have background music playing that's loud at the same time because they'll try to lip sync the background music too. You have to have them singing just alone without any sort of major music behind them. You could get away with it if it's a really low background score, but if it's something that's anything louder than that, it will just confuse the way that they're speaking. So you have to pick something that's pretty much silent in the background. The next question has to do with, no, you can't use this in videos. Human Synthesis Studio was the product where you use this in videos. You can't export them into videos. This is something that it's a separate piece of software that you guys have been asking for. Groundbreaking, actually. The next question. How long can the videos be? Yes, those little talking faces on the websites, as I said, it's 1.5 minutes for the commercial version, and if you get the upgrade to OTO1, the first upgrade, or of course the bundle deal, then you are going to be getting the ability to go for 3 minutes roughly, because 1,000 characters works out to that. There's roughly 5 or 6 characters to a word, and I don't know if you know this. You may want to jot this down too. There's almost exactly 150 words that someone reads in a minute, depending on the pace that they read it. My rate, when I read at about this rate right now, fairly fast, it's 150 words per minute. And you get 1,000 characters, so you get about 1.5 minutes. And 2,000 characters, 3 minutes, once you get the unlimited version. Now you're asking how I did that text-to-speech of my voice. So I sat in front of the microphone for many, many months, and it's interesting. They were having a little trouble with my voice. I don't know why, compared to some other voices that are in there. So they kept going over all my recordings, and they picked out, the engineers picked out the favorite recordings of mine rather than doing all of the recordings. So I spent 10 hours of recording. They must have picked out, I don't know, maybe 4 of that 10 hours, somewhere around there. And then from that, they were able to get a really good sounding Todd. The interesting thing about mine is, even though I find some flaws in it because it doesn't speak exactly like I might speak, there are a lot of things, inflections that are the same, number one. And number two, it is a more lively up and down sort of talking. It's a lot of inflections compared to regular text-to-speech, which tends to be smooth but kind of boring. So you do get to hear the actual Todd Gross inflections in there. Even though they're not all perfect. And as what I do with my voice when I do the text-to-speech Todd is I pick out any words I don't like the way I said, and I take them out and I put the other word in that may mean the same thing. Or I mix it up a little bit. The funniest thing, and I got to tell you this story, the funniest thing is I was saying niche instead of niche all the time in all my scripts. I said niche. I just recently changed over to niche because I think it's a little more than 50% of people now say niche worldwide rather than niche, worldwide English. But it changed it. So I said niche, but when I wrote it in, the text-to-speech said niche. So I was like shocked that happened. That was on the first version of my voice. I don't know what it sounds like now. All right, that's pretty funny. All right, the next question is the upgrades again, which are included in the package. And the package deal includes upgrade 1, 2, and 3, and the commercial version, which is the main offer. And that's it. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the webinar. I appreciate it so much. This is the most exciting video software I've ever been part of, and I've been part of so many cutting-edge software packages as they come out. This is it, folks, and this is the last time that you could get so many things with this. The prices are going up. It's going up to $97, and those upgrades are going up. The package deal is going away. My voice is going away. So much goes away after this launch ends, and it's ending in just hours. Thanks for coming. Have a great day. I am so excited that you are purchasing Talking Faces, and even if you don't, that you were here on the webinar with me today.